Psychological operations and, conspiracies, I feel like they have been around for a very long time. At least 2,000 years. Probably even longer, though. I wouldn't doubt that when the first hominid learned that you could pick up a rock, chuck it at another hominid's head and kill him, I wouldn't doubt that there was afterwards perhaps some sort of extremely primitive and rudimentary psychological operations that could have been developed, Just trickery, basically. I can't help but feel that Christianity was a psychological operation in itself. It was a way to bring the native Europeans, the Romans, the Greeks, it was a way to bring them into the Abrahamic fold. I'm not saying this to, I don't really like talking a lot about these religious topics. Seems like they're divisive, but this is just my opinion. I'm not saying this to insult your religion because, if someone wants to believe something and it helps them to lead a better life, who am I to judge, honestly? But I'm going to take a seat here and we'll talk about some different psychological operations, conspiracy theories. It was after World War II that I believe our government's ability to run psychological operations really went into overdrive. They became more devious, more nefandous, more deceitful, all of that. So let me take a seat here. So, I'm going to go over a few conspiracies or conspiracy theories, psychological operations. The first one that I will start out with is one that I absolutely hate. I hate it. I think it's stupid. I think it's just silly. It's completely silly. I think that there are forces that will put out these sort of conspiracy theories that will try to derail more legitimate and more well thought out paths of questioning. The first one I'm going to talk about is flat earth. I fucking hate flat earth. I think it's stupid. I think it's pointless. I've heard some people say stuff like, oh, there's a projector that projects all the heavenly bodies into the sky. How long is this? Where is this fucking projector? How long has it been around? Thousands of years ago, our ancestors knew of the constellations. They navigated by them. And you look at the moon, the sun, they're round. Spherical, I believe. And it's weird to me, why is flat earthers lumped in with us, in these dissident right spheres? I think it's just to, honestly, make us look stupid, personally. That's what I think. It's to make us look stupid to the outsiders, to, you could say, the normies, I guess. That's all I think flat earth is. I think it's a fucking waste of time. It's stupid. It's moronic. But let me back up for a second and perhaps say that I am indeed the stupid one. That I am wrong. And any flat earther going on about the ice wall around the world, all that bullshit, they're right. Well, does it change anything? Does it change one goddamn thing about the figurative shape of the world? Y'all are going on about the literal shape of the world, saying it's flat, what the fuck ever. Does it change anything? Does it change our ethnic displacement? Does it change that we are literally ruled by elite pedophiles. Does it change any of this? It doesn't. Flat, round, spherical, what the fuck ever. It doesn't change a goddamn thing. So I'm not interested in it. I don't want to fucking hear it. And if you're one of these flat earthers watching this and it offends you and you're subscribed to me, go ahead. Let me show you the door. It's a red button down there if you're subbed. If you're not, well, just go the fuck on. But if you are subbed, click that button and don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. I hate flat earth. I think it's really a waste of time. Pointless. And it's made to make more legitimate questions. It's made it to look, outlandish. Let's see. Another outlandish sort of conspiracy theory I've heard is involving 9/11. Some people say, I think my beliefs on it are that our government was involved. A small Middle Eastern nation was involved. Another larger Middle Eastern nation was involved. Neither of these nations we attacked afterwards. Larry Silverstein, all that. But I've heard some people say that, the airplanes, the Boeings that crashed into the towers were holograms. They were just projections. I've seen a video where it shows shortly before, just the instant before one of the planes hit, that the edge of the wing is clipped off. I don't buy this either. And I would imagine it's probably fairly easy to edit some sort of video to, do this. I think, once again, this is another case of an outlandish claim being made to discredit any questioning of the official narrative. Let's see. Now, another sort of conspiracy theory I've heard some people say is, that man, that Austrian artist who his organization and his government was controlled opposition. Excuse me. Now, I will say that this is worth questioning, worth looking into. Because I see this as, something that is relevant. It's not about flat earth. It's not just something completely outlandish, just completely stupid in my opinion. Something worth looking into. However, I don't buy it. They say that the artist was a Rothschild agent or, Abwehr, all that shit. I don't buy it, personally. I've looked into it some. I'm not buying it. Which leads me to what I would say is the preeminent psyop, the preeminent psychological operation. Going back to them saying that the Austrian artist was controlled opposition, it gives us this feeling, that everything is controlled, that the elites literally control every fucking thing. There's this interesting Telegram channel that I found a while back. I think it's called Propaganda Obscura. I'll put a link to it in the box below if you are on Telegram. You can check it out. I think it's an interesting channel, and I think that the guy does some interesting work. I don't entirely agree with everything that he says, but he does make interesting posts. He makes interesting posts about various media figures, historical figures. Like I said, I think it's interesting. I don't agree with all of it, but it's open. It's worth looking into, at least. But I think that one of the most preeminent psyops is that belief that they want us to believe that everything is controlled. that everything that happens, every major event, even though it may be just, a minor event in history, like going back, looking at, I've heard a lot of people, during these mass shootings over the last 10 years, 15, 20 years, a lot of people claim that they are done by the government, and I think that perhaps some of them are, but I don't subscribe to this belief that every event is controlled, planned out, and thought through beforehand. I don't subscribe to that belief, and I don't think you should either. There are things that happen that they don't account for, certainly. And I think this psyop is pushed in order to make people who are fed up with the system, who are angry, it makes them want to just sit on their hands. Because if everything is controlled, why try to fight it? I'm waiting to hear about the psyop that says, for us not to get out of the cities and move to the countryside. I'm waiting for them to devise something saying that, It's all just, I think that is the preeminent psy-op. That everything, literally everything, is a psy-op. I'm not trying to say this, there are psychological operations, certainly. And CIA, MI6, all these groups, Mossad, all that, they do these things, and they have their hands in it. But I don't subscribe to the belief that every single thing is controlled for the reasons that I just outlined. I think it's I think it's propagated so that people will just sit on their hands and accept whatever is coming. But going back to some other conspiracies or conspiracy theories, I hate flat Earth, but I am willing to consider, about the moon landings. Myself, I'm not terribly interested in this subject because I feel like it's like flat Earth, it really doesn't matter all that much. I am undecided. I kind of lean towards we didn't go to the moon. Apollonian Germ and Ratatosk had made 2 excellent videos talking about the moon landings, and I can certainly, after watching their videos and reading a little bit into it myself, I can certainly see why the U.S. government would want I can see the incentive for faking such a monumental event. Although, I'm not sure. I think it's also important to realize, too, that sometimes it's hard to know. We all just have our beliefs, we have our convictions, but it's truly hard to know sometimes. And some of these things that I have ranted on just now, I might be wrong about. Like I said, could be wrong about flat Earth, but I don't think it fucking matters, and I think it's stupid. But do you know if the world's flat? Do you know if it's round? You don't. You just have your beliefs. But I do think that the most preeminent psy-op, going back to it, is this psychological operation, that everything is controlled, that any big event is state actors, crisis actors. I'm not saying some of them aren't, because some of them are, certainly, but not every single thing that happens is controlled. Not every single thing is a psychological operation. Well, that's about all I have for you today. Thank y'all for watching. Bye-bye.